Get that thing straightened up right. Welcome to Ajabu Speaks. Got a heck of an analysis that's been revealed to me that I want to share with you. But before I go into that, I want to talk about I really make an observation about how this election is going. Sheesh. They kicked her sister in the butt. Looked like she lost the well, there's a chance that she may win the popular vote, which don't mean nothing, but she got kicked in the butt when you talk about the electoral college. And now Duck is appointing people, and everybody's concerned about who he's appointing because he's appointing people that are not necessarily qualified for the positions that he's appointing them to, but they are loyal. They say they're gonna do what he wants them to do, and it's got people concerned because they'll be operating outside their job description. And it's got him concerned. I mean, shoot, he don't care. Who's that? Gates? He been doing porn and what's his name? Hegseth, H-E-G-S-E-T-H. Used to be on Fox News. Them put him over the defense partner. Looked like he been groping women. Accused, not accused. And and you know about that, but the people, and I missed this. I gave them benefit of the doubt when they shouldn't have got the benefit. I mean, Martin Luther King also gave white folks the benefit of the doubt because he thought that, all right, they don't know no better. If you teach them better, they will act better. Wrong. Wrong. And I knew that historically, but because of my experiences and having been a soldier in the Vietnam War for a country fighting for it, and it's fighting me. But I didn't want to go through that, so I still wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, even though history says, Ajabu, elder, you shouldn't do it. What Malcolm says, shoot. They talking about forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. Malcolm, you know Malcolm, they know what they, as long as they've been doing it, they know what they're doing. Whew. But there might be a saving grace in that. And that's what I want to talk about. Welcome. For those who don't know, this is Elder Amoja Ajabu, your host for Ajabu Speaks. This program is dedicated to stripping the clothes off of well-dressed lives, and there's a bunch of them, and they're covered nicely, and if you just look at the lie, you will believe the lie because it looks so well. But I'm telling you, we gonna strip them good-looking clothes off of these lies that have been told, or being told, because I'm unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. I shared with y'all last time that I had a friend, and this friend, you know, they would get upset with him, you know, and they got so upset with him, shit, they killed him, but they got upset with him because he was telling the truth. And there was preachers who in him him doing good, that they took opposition to him doing good because they saying you doing good on a Sunday and that's against the law. And they killed him. Insisted. But that friend, he said before they took him out of there that you should know the truth, and the truth will set you free. I want to be free. So many of us talk about how short life is, as if they don't understand that your afterlife and your salvation in the afterlife is for an eternity. Why would you want to have this brief benefit at the expense of eternal benefit because you were a proponent of the truth? Part of the truth that's going on with us right now is that Duck is establishing a relationship with Ukraine, with Putin, with Russia, concerning the war that's going on in Ukraine. And people are concerned because the Western man that came out of Britain and Germany and Portugal, all those Western European countries, they got a different philosophy than what Putin got, and so they're fighting Putin to try to diminish his control and take his land. But the to be able to understand that, you got to go back to the administration of President Barack Obama, because he's the one that set all of that in motion. I mean, there was things moving in Ukraine. There, the West had been in there and psychologically disrupting, trying to cause the type of mentality to where it's that the people would not go along with the government so that they could overthrow it, so that they could change it. They wouldn't use the language overthrow. They would say so that it could be changed. They would use the diplomatic language. Well, all the time they were plotting a coup. And President Obama set that in motion when he was in office, and you can start seeing how Russia had accused him and his administration of being complicit in that change of government, and they started showing or telling that they were suspicious of him being involved, and you can see it from an interview that Barack Obama done with CNN back in February of 2015. Russia seized on remarks by the U.S. President Barack Obama about an internationally brokered deal to resolve last year's Ukrainian crisis, claiming they prove, Brock's words, that Washington was involved in a coup against Ukraine's Moscow-backed president. In the CNN interview broadcast on February the 1st, 2015, Obama, Barack, said he thinks Russia has been interfering in Ukraine partly because President Vladimir Putin was caught off balance by embattled Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych fleeing after he had brokered a deal to transition power in Ukraine. Russia was not expecting him to cut up out of there from breaking the deal. Now, they ain't telling y'all the story, but this is the story that they're telling. This story is being told by Radio Free Europe. Let me stay focused. It's speaking on Beijing on February the 2nd, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Obama's remarks were proof that from the very beginning, the United States was involved in the anti-government coup that Obama neutrally described as a power transition. You know, they ain't gonna say it was a coup. You know, there was power that was changed. You know, it's just like there was power that's getting ready to change here in America. Duck getting ready to get in the seat of power that Genocide Joe now resides in. And they're trying to say that there was a smooth transition. We wasn't going to be sure for a second there cause Duck was the shit. If I lose, it might not be peaceful. The transition may not be peaceful. But a senior Obama administration official told Radio Free Europe that Obama's remarks referred to U.S. efforts to help resolve the crisis in the run-up to a February 21st, 2014 deal signed by Yanukovych and was then Ukraine's opposition. The official, the State Department official, said the United States worked with Yanukovych's government, Ukraine's opposition, and other stakeholders to reach an agreement to put Ukraine back on track toward fulfilling the aspirations of the Ukrainian people. Yanukovych, who had triggered, and again, this is Radio Free Europe, Yanukovych, who had triggered mass protests in Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine, by refusing to sign a European Union association agreement, in November 2013, abandoned power and fled to Russia shortly after signing the agreement. They're not telling you all the story. Yeah, he did flee, but there was another agreement, and they're not telling you all of it. See, in order to get all the story, and sometimes it takes a while to get all the story, you got to go forward a little bit, and what we're going to do is jump ahead 2 years to 2017 to an article by Cato, which is big on protecting civil rights. They got another take on that. This article appeared in their publication on the 6th of August, 2017. And they started out saying there is an abundance of outrage in the United States about Russia's presidential election. Okay, they say that. Let's go past that. Let's get to this. Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych was not an admirable character. Okay, he wasn't a saint. You know, he liked duck. You know, I don't know that he was convicted of any crimes or is a convicted felon, but he was not a church boy. After his election, Yanukovych, in 2010, he used patronage and other instruments of state power in a flagrant fashion to the advantage of his political party. Now, I mean, those are the same signs that Duck is sending now by these appointments that he's making, Gates and Hesseth and who is the other one? Robert Kennedy. He's sending messages that he's gonna put his boys in place and his ladies in place that are loyal to him, no matter whether they got the skills or not. They're loyal. So when Yanukovych rejected the European Union's term for an association agreement in late 2013 in favor of a Russian offer, see, the Radio Free Europe didn't tell you that there was another offer on the table. He decided not to go with the West. He decided to go with Putin. And because of that, they say, the United States, Biden, helped to create angry demonstrators that filled Kiev's Independence Square, known as the Maiden, as well as other places. We're trying to understand Ukraine. We're trying to understand what is going on here in relation to us as African people. This is an African perspective of what's going on, and you don't see it now, but it's coming. Walk with me. The extent of the Obama administration's meddling in Ukraine politics was breathtaking, according to Cato. And from the facts that they're laying out, I would use the same language. Western leaders made it clear that they supported the efforts of demonstrators to force Yanukovych to reverse course and approve the EU agreement. They was mad. Why are you going with Putin instead of us? If he would not do so, then to remove him from the presidency, even though his term hadn't expired. Senator John McCain, when he was living, and I remember this, I remember him going over to Ukraine. He went over there, and at the time he was the ranking Republican on the Senate Armed Services Committee. He went to Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, to show solidarity with the Euro Maiden activities, with the cats that was rebelling against Yanukovych, because he went with Putin's deal instead of the European Union. But McCain's, now watch it, he's unwrapping this thing. But McCain's actions were a small bit. He uses the term model of diplomatic restraint compared to the conduct of Victoria Nuland, the Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs. He's saying that the support and assistance that and the verbal support that she was giving the people that was rebelling against the present president because he had taken the deal with Putin. She's saying what McCain did was small stuff. She, working for the State Department, noted in a speech to the U.S.-Ukraine Foundation on December 13, 2013, that she had traveled to Ukraine 3 times in the weeks following the start of the demonstrations. After they get acting up, she done went over there and supported them 3 times. Visiting right there where they had, where they called the Maiden, on December 5th, she handed out cookies. Look, put a good taste in your mouth. I like what you're doing. Have a chocolate chip. And voice support for their cause. The extent of the Obama administration's meddling in Ukraine's politics was breathtaking. He likes to say it. He done said that twice. Russian intelligence intercepted and leaked to the international media a Nuland, the woman at the State Department, telephone call in which she and U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Piat, the ambassador, discussed in detail their preference for specific personnel in a post-Yanukovych government. Now he's still in office, and they talking about how can we change him from being the occupant of that office. Nuland and Piat were engaged in such planning at a time when Yanukovych was still Ukraine's lawful president. It was startling to have diplomatic representatives of a foreign country and a country that routinely, America, touts itself, or touts the need to respect democratic processes and the sovereignty of nations, which they just, Duck actually put all of that into question, but he won. So we don't know how that'll play out now, but he won. But they were scheming, just like Duck was scheming on the international level in Ukraine, about removing an elected government and replacing it with officials meriting U.S. approval. We want to say, the United States, the Obama administration wants to state that they want to have the say-so on who rules, who sits in the seat of power in Ukraine. The 2 diplomats also were prepared to escalate the already extensive U.S. involvement in Ukraine's political turbulence. Piat, the ambassador, stated bluntly that we want to get somebody with an international personality to come here to Ukraine to help midwife this thing, help this thing be birthed. They're talking about the political transition, getting Yanukovych out of power. Nuland clearly, now Nuland's at the State Department, she clearly had Vice President, are you hearing me? Vice President Joe Biden in mind for that role. Joe can do it. Genocide Joe would do it. If we need somebody in Ukraine to help us with the transition of a government that, or a person that is favorable to United States policy, then Genocide Joe would help us do it. But the deal was for Genocide Joe, I'll help you do it if you give my son, Hunter, a job. Y'all got, look, I got to make some money out of this now. I can make some money through Hunter. Give him a job. And they said, okay, gave him the job of being on the electricity board, the power board, and he knows nothing about electricity. Some people have said that if it was time to turn the lights out, it would be hard for him to find the switch. But he definitely don't know how or anything about running a business whose task is to get electricity to homes throughout the country. But he was on the board, and he was making a multi-million dollar salary being on the board because his daddy told them that he would help with the transition if they got him a job, and that was the job that he got. It was a grotesque distortion to portray the events in Ukraine as a purely indigenous popular uprising. The Newland State Department, Piet ambassador, telephone conversation, and other actions confirm that the United States was considerably more than a passive observer to the terms. Now understand, all this is going under Obama. Obama's prayers, Genocide Joe is vice president, Piat is the ambassador appointed by Obama to Ukraine, and Newland is in the State Department, ran by Hillary, but at the auspices, at the directions of Obama. All of this has happened under Obama. The United States had no right to try to orchestrate political outcomes in another country, especially, and this is important, pay attention here, especially one on the border of another great power. These cats are trying to determine the power of a country that is contiguous with Russia, with Putin's territory, and Putin is telling them now, look, we don't like that. We're not agreeable with that. And even though he was not agreeable, he allowed them to take over or to install someone in the seat of power in Ukraine without fighting militarily. He just voiced his situation, that his disagreement. And then here comes Zelensky. Now Zelensky, I mean, this cat is slick. He's a Jew, or someone who believes in practicing Judaism. And when I call him a Jew, I'm saying that he and his family practice Judaism, but I don't want you to mistake that I am calling him a Jew who calls himself Zionist, who are now occupying Palestine and trying to steal that land, trying to make people believe that they are the people that started out in that land historically just because they are now practicing Judaism. No, those Zionists who's over there trying to steal that land came out of Eastern Europe, and Zelensky is one of them. And so he was so slick, and just like they were so slick to steal the people's identity, the Zionists were so slick to steal the people's identity in Palestine. He was so slick that he was a comedian and became an actor, established a production company, and you know, them Jewish people, they control Hollywood, so he's probably hooked up with them somehow, you know, but he had got into the industry, and he created a program that was very popular, and the program was him being the president of Ukraine in this program, you know, and it ran from about 4 years, 2015 to 2018, 2019, and so for 3 to 4 years he had bombarded, he had waged a psychological war on the minds of the Ukrainian people that to see him as president of the country. I'm running out of time here, but y'all gonna have to understand that he was successful. 2019, he established a political party. Ran for president and got elected. Slick! But then as him being elected, and I'm fast forwarding here, but y'all gonna have to come to my website to get the rest of this, but let me get this in what I can get in. He, in 2021, said not only did he want to have a economic relationship with the West, with the European Union, and he said that he wanted to start having a relationship with NATO. Well, if you understand who NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. That's a military organization of Western countries. And when he said that he wanted to have that kind of relationship, Putin said, "Nah, man, you've been gone too far. That's too far. I can't have the West on my border with a military identity. They wouldn't let me do it, or let my country do it back in the 60s when Gorbachev wanted to set up a military relationship with Cuba 90 miles off the coast of the U.S. No, they was against that. And I'm against that. And if you're going to try to do that, then I'm going to fight. I'm unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. Y'all got to come with me. Walk with me, but I'm not going to be able to get it done in this radio broadcast because my time is running out. You're going to have to come to me and walk to me. Walk with me to my website located at www.ajabuspeaks.squarespace.com. You're going to have to come and get the rest of this message, because it's going to help you to understand how we as African people, and how Duck is saying that he can stop the war in Ukraine, and he can do it because of his relationship with Musk. Musk controls the internet that's being used there in Ukraine, that is actually coordinating the organization, the military organization that is being used to fight Putin. If they can't do that, then they can't fight. They would have to surrender. I'm telling you, you're going to have to come to get the rest of this at www.ajabuspeaks.squarespace.com. This program is dedicated to the truth. And we're going to be like our friend. If the truth kills us, then we should be a welcome guest to our Father, unbossed, and unafraid of the truth, and nothing but the butt-naked truth. What about you? Are you trying to be gratified in this short life? Are you trying to be satisfied with salvation in your eternal life? Unbossed, and unafraid. Just one question for you. You ready? But let me go on. See, Duck is saying that he can stop the war in Ukraine. He says, I can stop it in a day. And I don't think he could do it that quick, but I think he can stop it because of the relationship that he's got with Elon Musk, and the control that Elon Musk has over the internet, that controls Ukraine, Zelensky's military that coordinates it, that helps it to know where it's going to be shooting its rounds and things. If Musk and Musk has shown that he's a businessman. Because initially he was patriotic, but then he started looking at the cost of providing internet, and he was providing it free. At that time, and back in 2023, he was providing it free. The war jumped off in 2022, so in 2022 he was providing it. Yeah, I'll help you. And he started providing it, and then it started costing him. He said, "Oh man, I'm a businessman. I can't keep losing money. I turned this stuff out," and he knew where the switch was. He wasn't like Hunter. He knew where the switch was. He knew how to turn the power off to the internet. He devised it. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he told it. This is out of the AP. This is an article out of the AP, September 11, 2023, just last year, a few months ago. Excerpts of a new biography of Elon, published by the Washington Post last week, reveal the Ukrainians in September 2022 had asked for the Starlink, which is the internet that Musk controls, support to attack Russian naval vessels based at the Crimean port of Sevastopol. Let me read that again. Excerpts of a new biography of Musk, published by the Washington Post last week, reveal that the Ukrainians in September 2022 had asked for the Starlink support to attack Russian naval vessels based at the Crimean port of Sevastopol. Okay, Musk had refused due to concerns that Russia would launch a nuclear response, a nuclear attack in response. Russia seized Crimea from Ukraine in 2014 and claims it as its territory. Musk was not on military contract when he refused the Crimea request. I'm in control of the technology that you use to coordinate your military. You want to attack Russia, Putin? I'm saying no, because if you do, I think Putin might go nuclear. And shoot, I'm not going to let you provoke an event that's going to cause the annihilation of everybody. Musk, Elon, had been providing terminals to Ukraine for free in response to Russia's February 2022 invasion. However, in the months since, the U.S. military has funded and officially contracted with Starlink for continued support. The Pentagon has not released or disclosed the terms or cost of that contract, but you can bet it's a pretty penny. And Musk he's a businessman. And so now Duck got him talking to Putin, telling Putin and telling the world, and specifically the folks that he was running against in the presidential election and the people here in America, I can stop the war in Ukraine in a day. And he's talking to, he's got Musk talking to Putin, who is the man that can do it. If Ukraine cannot coordinate its military, then it has to surrender. It can't fight. It's a carnage at that point. It's suicide at that point. They would have to stop. And now Musk and Duck, being businessmen, they see Ukraine as a taker. Ukraine is asking for money to fight. They see if they can get money from Russia to stop the fight. Elon can go and tell Putin on behalf of Duck that, look, man, if you want to war to stop, I can stop it. What are you offering? What you gonna give us? So see, our sister was right in saying that Duck is for him. You know, he can financially benefit from getting his friend Elon Musk to stop the war because Russia has resources. Russia can pay for that to be done. Ukraine can't. And so they're trying to make the deal, and the folks are upset, you know. Dang. And see, that might be, see, now I'm getting ready to make a lot of people mad. That might be a good thing. Because, see, Zelensky is got that, even though they say he's not a Zionist, but he's got that Zionist mindset. He came from the same part of the same territory that those Zionists came from up there in Eastern Europe. And if he was mixing and mingling with that kind, maybe he don't want to use the biblical excuse for taking land, but he'll just use the political excuse. Look, I'll hook up with y'all, and if y'all support me, hell, I'll do the fighting. Just give me the weapons. Just like you giving those Zionists the weapons over there in Palestine, give me the weapons here in Ukraine, and I will take Russian territory. I will expand your influence. I'll help you to start approaching, or help you to approach your desire to become as big as the British Empire. You know, they said that the sun never set on the British Empire. I'm telling you how I'm about. I'm trying to tell you the story. This is what's happening. And so with Musk being able to advance negotiations like that, we might see the war stop in Ukraine. The question is, will we know what Musk and Duck get out of the deal? We've got to ask the question as African people, where do we fit in that? See, you wouldn't think that we was nowhere in that. That's white folks' business. But you got to understand that Duck is not the only one who wants to establish a relationship with Putin. We got the brothers in the Sahel, in South Africa too, who are saying that instead of choosing the West, the European Union and NATO, we want to go with Putin. Putin has not oppressed us. Putin has no history of enslaving us. Putin has no history of colonizing us. Putin actually gave our soldiers who were fighting against white folks who had came over and taken our land. He gave us the weapons and the training to help us take the land back. So now we don't want a relationship. You don't know how to act. And because of that, the brothers are establishing a relationship with Putin and Ukraine, then stuck his nose in our business. Watch this. This comes from CNN, and it was written on July the 29th, earlier this year, 2024. It says. Russian mercenaries, and it's talking about an attack, and you'll hear it as I go forward. An attack in Mali. Russian mercenaries appear to have been attacked as they were accompanying Malian government troops on patrol last week near the Algerian border, which is a vast, forbidding region where jihadi and Tariq groups have been active. And these jihadis are fighting for the interests of Islam, and the Tariqs are pretty much too. They're indigenous to the land. They're Berbers and they're nomads. They go where they go, but they have become Islamists and have been Islamists for centuries. So now they have hooked up with these jihadists that actually come out of Afghanistan, trying to control the resources of the African continent. See, the resources of the African continent have got to be controlled by and for the people of the African continent, whether at home or abroad. It can't be controlled in the name of Islam or for Islam, and there's no problem with a brother being a Muslim, a Christian, or any other religion. You can be what you want to be, but when we're not going to control the resources are not going to be controlled because of your religion or for your religion. It's going to be controlled for the people of Africa. The Africans of Africa have to get the benefit of the resources of Africa. This is the Pan-Africanist view. I'm telling you, I'm unbought. I'm bossed and unafraid. And so now you got Zelensky over in Mali on the African continent, killing soldiers who are helping that Sahel region. And it's just not the brother there in Mali. You got Burkina Faso, you got Guinea, you got Niger. You know, all of those countries are binding together and have formed a military to say that we're going to stop the West, basically France at the forefront. We're going to stop them from stealing our natural resources. We're going to establish a relationship with Putin because he has not come in here trying to conduct himself, saying that he's going to take our stuff. He's saying that he's willing to negotiate a deal to where that he will pay us for our stuff. It's a better deal. And see, the best deal, even with that, and this is where we've got to get as a people, even with that, we cannot continue to allow other people to come in and get our resources. We need to develop them ourselves. And that, when we grow up, when we become mature, that's when we'll take our rightful place in the world order of things. And the brothers, they didn't arm themselves now. They didn't arm themselves. And they're ready. And we've got to get into the mindset to be ready too. We can't be so comfortable that we would support continuing our comfort at the carnage that's going on in the Sudan, that they're trying to continue to go on in the Sahel, that went on in South Africa and Zimbabwe. Nah, we look, if we control the resources, the standard of living that we would have as a people would be something that none of us have really, most of us have never grasped. We wouldn't be arguing about where to get some money. We'd be arguing about how to spend some money. It's a better argument. And so we've got to look at it. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be through. But I got to talk to my brothers and sisters who's right here in America, as I specifically, because Duck is not only going to be operating on the international level. See, I even see, let me say that, I even see where he done had Musk talk to the people in Iran. Now here it is again. He's a businessman. He can stop the war in Palestine. Well, he can't, but Duck can. Stop the war in Palestine. And again, the Zionists are takers. They ain't giving them. They're takers. Iran can pay to stop the war. Them Zionists want to get paid to wage the war. It's a better deal if you're paying to stop the war than it is if you're paying to wage the war. And Doug is saying that he is against war. Is it possible that he has got Musk not only talking to Putin, but talking to the Ayatollah in Iran to say that we can stop the war against you and in Gaza if you give us some money? Yeah, I see that happen. So I see that as a possibility. So I'm saying that internationally, Duck might be good for us. Now, don't take that and run with it. Don't take that and run with it, because the jury's still out. And then there's a domestic view that we got to look at, and that's what I want to talk to us as a people that live here in America. There's a domestic view. We don't know how he gonna act up in here, and how he's going to make people act up in here. I mean, here in Indianapolis, and this was confirmed to me by the deputy chief of police, that it is credible there is a white boy running around here, and he has posted on social media that his goal is to go to Walmart, one of them stores, and kill at least 40 women. Now, I don't know if there's evidence that he's a MAGA supporter, but whether he is or not, these circumstances has caused him to be thinking like that, or enough that he's thinking like that, right on social media that he's thinking like that. And if he carries it out, we would be remiss if we're not prepared. So I don't know what Duck's decisions and victory, what impact, but I know that he's got people that will act out. We saw that on January the 6th. And I'm saying that whatever it is, we ought to be prepared for it. There's no need of getting caught with the drawers down. We need to prepare. We need to come together. And we need to talk. And there's some of us that's organizing a discussion where we will talk. And you need to come to the talk so that we can have a discussion, so that we can be prepared to the degree that we can be prepared to stop anything that comes our way. And to create the infrastructure to control and distribute the resources on the African continent that are rightfully ours. We can't be so caught up that we're living well. Those of us that are, to whereas that we will let our quality of life do something that is against the interests of our people, which eventually will stop right at our door. You've been listening to the elders. Unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Following the example of my friend. Some call him Jesus. Some call him Christ. Some call him the Anointed One. I call him the example. Someone who lived his life in a way that you can live your life, and you will find favor with the Father. And see, Jesus ain't what this Western world is trying to make you see him as being a meek, placid, go along with everything type of guy. He didn't. Nah. See, Jesus' mother, Mary, wrote a book about his life. Now, they don't tell you this. And you can still get it. They say it's the lost books of the Bible, but they ain't lost. Go get that book. And in that book, there is a book that was supposedly written by Jesus' mother, just like the book of Matthew was supposedly written by Jesus' disciple named Matthew. If you really know the truth, they don't know who wrote them books. They just know that they exist. But tradition attributed the authorship to the authors that made the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, as being disciples, the disciples spoken about in the book that traveled with Jesus. But I'm telling you, there's also a book that was written at that time, supposedly by Jesus' mother, Mary, and in that book she talks about how she was on the beach, and there was some young males that was taking advantage of a woman, and Jesus went over there and kicked that butt. Kill one of them. I'm telling you, that's in that book. That's the book of Mary. I'm just telling you the truth. And I'm telling you that I'm trying to be the example of the son of our Father who art in heaven. I'm bossed and unafraid of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the butt naked truth. You ready? To be free. We'll see.